Om Shri Sai Ram. My most humble prostrations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagawan. My humble Sai Rams to our revered and respected elders, our sisters and brothers, and to all the wonderful children of the loving Sai family. Once again, I am happy to welcome all of you to yet another soulful edition of Saicast. I have the pleasure of placing before all of you today the divine message of Bhagawan, which is titled Similarities Between a Sea Surfer and a Spiritual Surfer. Bhagawan in this particular message has brought out the common links which exist between a sea surfer and a spiritual surfer. Surfing, as you all are aware, is a sport which is enjoyed near the seashores and beaches in many countries of the world. Bhagawan in this message mentions that there is much in common between a sea surfer and a spiritual surfer or a spiritual seeker. While a sea surfer negotiates the high waves and passes through the water tunnel and comes out of it standing on the surfing board, the spiritual surfer or seeker too dodges the high waves of illusion and passes through the Mayavi world to reach his destination, which is the Master's divine lotus feet. While the sea surfer fastens the rope of the surfing board to his own feet, the spiritual surfer fastens himself with the unseen rope of his devotion and rigorous sadhana to God's lotus feet. Herein lies the main difference between a surfer on the seashores of the world and a spiritual surfer. Bhagavan says that both of them, one on the shores of the sea and the other on the sea of life, have to check their attitudes to achieve success in life. Both of them need to have a high level of discipline as also devotion of the highest order. They both need several hours of sadhana and rigorous practice to reach their respective goals of life. If they are not fully devoted and committed, both can slip and fall badly. Bhagavan further adds that both can be successful in their respective fields only if they have total faith in their masters as also in themselves. Without unflinching faith in your divine master, guru or coach, nothing can ever be achieved. Let us now listen to the divine message as dictated by Bhagavan. Sai Ram. Om Shri Sai Ram. Similarities between a sea surfer and a spiritual surfer. Surfing is a sport enjoyed by surfers the world over. It is a sport which is enjoyed near the seashores and beautiful beaches where there are plenty of surfing and other sporting activities. Waves of very high intensity dash against the shores, some rising up to 10 or 20 meters in height, making surfing an enjoyable sport. After fastening the surfing board with a chain to the ankle, the surfer waits for the right moment and then moves quickly, surfing through the seawater, dodging and cheating the high waves by racing at great speeds with the grace and finesse of a beautiful fish. It is definitely a sight to behold, a treat for your eyes. Isn't it so, my dear children? There is a lot in common between a sea surfer and a spiritual surfer or a spiritual seeker. Let us find out. A surfer surfs on the high seas and dodges the waves and passes through the huge water tunnel and comes out of it standing tall on the surfing board. Similarly, the spiritual seeker too dodges the high waves of illusion and passes through this Mayavi world to reach his destination, which is his master's divine lotus feet. This he can do only with a high level of devotion after fastening the ropes of Namajapa, Yama Niyama and Pratyahara to his heart where God's feet are resting. In the case of the sea surfer, it needs to be noted that he fastens the rope of his surfing board to his own feet. Herein lies the difference between a surfer on the seashores of the world and the spiritual surfer who has to tie himself with his rope of devoted sadhana to God's feet. Both of them, one on the shores of the sea and the other on the sea of life, have to check their attitudes and tendencies for achieving success in life. They both need to have discipline and devotion of the highest order. They need several hours and many a times even months and years of practice to fine-tune their respective sadhanas so as to reach their goals of life and then be satisfied and happy. Both the sea surfer and the spiritual surfer have to be fully dedicated and committed, otherwise they will slip and fall badly. Both have to hold on to their minds, which needs to be fine-tuned through rigorous efforts so that they can accomplish their goals of becoming master surfers and master spiritual surfers or spiritual seekers. Both can be successful in their own fields only and only if they have complete and unflinching faith in their masters and in themselves. This is a very crucial aspect to be taken note of. Without total faith in your guru, master or coach, nothing can ever be achieved. My dear children, do take note that your guru and God is now walking in your midst. Seek and find him and start surfing slowly and reach the high seas of the spiritual world. Come, my children, put in your sincere efforts and try and reach me. Swami is very much present here and now. With blessings, your Baba. Jai Sai Ram.